Welcome back to WC Willis Lifestyle and Camping Videos. Today we're going to be making homemade biscuits. A lot of people like to just make biscuits and roll them out, but I'm going to show you all today how to make this biscuits. First you need to get your butter and grease your biscuit pan with it. It's plain butter, you all. It's butter, not shortening. Grease your pan. Make sure your pan is coated real well with the butter so your biscuit will be good and brown. Next we're going to use 2 cups of flour, self-rising flour. We're going to use a half a stick of softened butter. You can soften this butter in the microwave. You can also use room temperature butter with this as well. You make sure your butter is mixed in with your flour until you have a crumbly consistency. And I'll show y'all what the flour and the butter look like before you add your buttermilk. We're going to be using buttermilk as well. And we're going to add about a half a cup of buttermilk. You pour the buttermilk slowly so that way you don't pour it all in at one time. So that way you know you get the right consistency of what you want your biscuits to look like, your dough and your biscuits to look like. But I'll give you all a glimpse of it before I start making the pan biscuits, or this biscuits. All your buttermilk in. This time you want to use all your flour up with this. And this is gonna make a ball of dough for you to make. I think you'll have about 7 or 8 biscuits out of this. After it starts getting stiff, what you want to do is you want to make sure your hands are clean. I had already washed my hands earlier. Get your flour and your butter off of your fork. And you want to do your dough like this. And you also want to have some flour on the side as well. And this you all is what you call fist biscuits. And you just want to coat your dough with the flour you got on the side of your bowl. You want to make sure your hands is got flour on them like this, and you pinch the dough off. And you make your biscuits. Get up close to this. All you're doing is pinching a ball of dough off, and you go around like this here. Make a circle. Kind of spin it like that and mash it down a little bit. Put it in your pan. And that way you don't have to have that flour all over everything and cutting out biscuits and rolling biscuits. Just make fist biscuits and you Got it going on. And all you need, this is self-rising flour, half a stick of butter, and buttermilk. And I'm gonna show you all what it look like when it come out of the oven. And you bake these at 350. I'll show you all what it look like when it come out of the oven. To go along with the biscuits, we're going to make hamburger meat with gravy. And what you use is you're going to put a little olive oil in the black skillet. Just enough to keep it from sticking. Let that be heating up. Then you're going to have an egg already beaten. And our seasoning is going to include some Larry seasoning salt, a little cayenne red pepper, a little garlic powder, and some black pepper. First we're going to stir our egg in that we've beaten up. Get it all combined in the meat. Go ahead and sprinkle in a little bit of Larry seasoning salt. Maybe about a half a teaspoon. This cayenne pepper all depend on how spicy you want it. I'm only going to put a little bit because me and hot pepper don't go too good together. Just a small amount of cayenne pepper, a little bit of garlic salt. About a half a teaspoon. And just a sprinkle of black pepper because we already got the cayenne pepper in there. And you combine that well, and you put this in, you make hamburger patties, and you put it in your skillet, and you make patties out of it. And then when it all gets brown and done, you make a gravy, and I'll show you all the gravy later. And all you do is put a ball like this and put it in the skillet. Make a small hamburger patty. You don't want the regular size hamburger patty like you do with a hamburger. Put it in your hot skillet. You hear that sizzle? You hear it sizzling on against that black iron skillet. You make small patties when you're having a dinner like this, because you can put some good homemade gravy around it. I'm also going to have for a side of rice to go with this. And you just let each side brown on the hamburger meat until it get a crust on it. I'll bring you all back once the hamburger meat get a crust on it, and I'll make the gravy. I'm going to make our gravy for our hamburger patties. We're going to put some onion in there. Saute the onions so they're soft. We're going to saute the onions until they are soft. Then after just a little while, you are on the end of the hamburger meat getting brown, you need to drain off a good bit of the liquid, the grease. But you leave a small amount of grease in the pan. gonna push these onions to the side while they are cooking. I'm gonna get me a small amount of bacon dripping and add because I pulled off a little bit too much. Add me a little bit more oil to the pan. Let that get hot. This grease here is for my gravy. And what we're gonna do next is I use flour. A lot of people use cornstarch, but I just use plain self-rising flour. You sprinkle it in, maybe about 3 tablespoons. This is the time you're gonna add your black pepper. And you're gonna sprinkle a little bit of salt. Just a small amount of salt. You want to cook your flour until it gets brown. And scrape up the bits from that hamburger meat as well, so that's your flavor in there. And once that flour gets brown, we're going to add some water to it. That's the color that you want it right there. Now we're going to get some water, maybe about a half a cup of water. Just kind of have to like eyeball this water. And it's going to thicken up. And it's going to steam. See how it's thickening up? You can add the onions if you want to, but me and my husband, we like onions. And you see, that's your homemade gravy. It's almost like magic. See how good that looks? That's your homemade gravy with hamburger meat. Once my rice and biscuit get done, I'll show you all, fix you all a plate. And when the biscuits come out of the oven, I like to put butter on them like this, so they really taste like hot buttered biscuits. And this is what our homemade fish biscuits look like. And you just rub butter on them after they are brown. This is our gravy and hamburger meat. This is our rice. It's our side. And this is our homemade fish biscuits. And I'm going to go ahead and fix a plate and show y'all what our plate looks like. Two biscuits in for regular serving. Hamburger patty.
Hamburger.
Yeah, I know this is still a plate. Rice. And you put your gravy on top of your rice.